How the heck are you, everybody? I'm Fast The Fastidious. Welcome to my channel and welcome to a very fun video. I'm in a very good mood because of this. World #1 on the Southeast Asian Forerunner server. Big shout out to Xero for lending me his account. We broke 3 million, 3.17 million. We are leaving the competition in our dust. Oh my god. Let me know if anyone's seen a bigger number. I will say I have not fully min-maxed this comp either. I'm using all the builds Xero had on his heroes. Some videos need a big hype intro, right? No, not this one. I mean, that number right there says all you need to know. This is going to be a giant Helga showcase. It's a super optimized team. Obviously, the gear has not been min-maxed. All I did was move around a few artifacts and then work on technique. So that's what I'm going to show you here. I really want to show off how insanely good, zoom in, insanely good Helga is for Styx Boss. She's going to have the least damage on the team besides Elwyn. Who cares? She destroys these shields. Everything I theory crafted in my Helga guide, everyone go check that out. I'll have a link to it in the top pinned comment and the description of this video, was dead on. She is a freak. She's a freak. I can't wait to show you. Let's get into it.
Fastidious.
Fastidious.
Alrighty guys, I made myself nice and small, moved myself up on the screen. I want you to be able to see everything. Let's get into battle. Let me show you the comp. So we are bringing what I think is probably the best comp in the game for this. If you guys have other suggestions for hero comp, let me know. Like I said, the gear could be min-maxed a bit more, but this is a badass account. This is a 468-day-old account, 100% free to play. So before people start freaking out, if you're willing to grind your butt off like Xero, you can have an amazing account like this. Granted, he's played almost, let's do the math, almost 16 months. I'll show you right now. Oh my god, the pop-ups are killing me. If we go here, he's at actually exactly 16 months, 481 days. So he grinded his butt off for it, but 100% free to play, 6.6, almost 6.7 million BP. I'll just prove that free to play for you right now. Never bought the Priv card, never got Iona. I also confirmed it with him. He's on not the most active server in the world, so I'm sure that's helped his progression. But guys, he just grinded. He grinded his little butt off, and we've got a badass team. So without further ado, let's get into this. Let's actually show the run. He's world #1 in everything on this server, but I will say, I'll show you right now, and actually this shows you how viable a Helga can be. Before I got in here and started experimenting, this was his best score. No, where is it? I know he put up like 2 million something. It's not coming up right now. But he had about 2 million, or maybe this was it, 192. He was using a comp with the Racha as a lead, and he was using Xero over here. The changes I made was bringing in Setram. You can see, okay, so this was his comp, and this is when I started bringing the new guys in. So I tried Setram, and I said, let's get Elwyn in the mix. This was a run I canceled out of, and then we started breaking 3 milli. Enough said. Freakish numbers. Let's get into the battle and let's show it all off. I'll show the builds at the end. Right now, it's all about Helga and how she just owns these shields. She makes them her bee. So let's get into battle. There's the squad. Let's do this. Basically, we're leaning heavily on Helga and then Setram to take down these shields. Calypso also helps in a big way, and then Elwyn's going to keep that rage going. Aside from that, it's just timing tricks to take advantage of the rage regen boost you get from whenever you pop that shield. So we'll place Salazar here. I'm going to place Helga here. We're going to place Setram here. We'll place Calypso here. So these placements, there's two reasons. Basically, we place Silas, and then we place Elwyn, because Elwyn is in an Invig set. So we give the Invigoration buff, the 10% attack on Silas. That makes up for, in a big way, what Aracha gives him, because this is a post-deployment boost. On top of that, we want to make sure as many heroes as possible are in Elwyn's range, because she's wearing a maxed out Euphoric Orb, formerly known as Orb of Euphoria. Calypso doesn't matter as much as the rest of the squad. She's the odd man out here. And then the reason I've placed Helga here is because I want her dead center so you guys can just watch what it looks like. And you're going to have to really pay attention because it is lightning quick. You need to watch what it looks like when she's doing her multi-strikes during her ultimate. I'll read you her ultimate really quickly. Rapidly strikes the target with the highest HP. There's only one target. She's going to go for the Zelus Styx Boss, dealing 25% damage. Don't care about the damage. She is not for damage. 4 times every X second. This is the weird thing. X equals 30% of her attack interval. This Helga has over 700 attack speed. Her attack interval is 0.6 seconds. It's actually the high 0.5 5 seconds. So it's rounding up to 0.6. It's a tremendous, tremendous boost. Let me hop right back on her for one more second. So we're gonna get 30% of that, right? So we're looking at like a 0.18 second interval that she's doing quadruple hitters. It's freakish. She's a freak. There's nothing else to call her. Let's throw this on auto. Basically, we'll turn it off once Silas gets his ult out. And Salazar, I'll tell you a weird thing I found. I was thinking, hey, maybe we can burst him down. You're going to see the damage we're going to do. We can burst him down before the shield comes up. I've gotten down to even killing him before the shield goes up, but then a weird thing happens. He pops the shield after, and then he wipes us. So actually, it's important that, oh no, did I just take his shield down? You're actually going to see that. So this is something we don't want to have happen. So even though I beat him, he's going to wipe us, which is just ridiculous. Or maybe this time it won't happen. No, beautiful. This time it didn't happen. Excellent. All right, let's get into it. I had a glitch like that before, but this is literally, maybe we'll get a new high score. This is as optimal as it can be. So let's sit on everything. I'm going to do a lot of 1x on this fight because I want it to be as clean as possible. Basically, we're going to load up on ults. We're going to hold everything. And we want to get as many ults off from our big damage dealers, those being Salazar and Silas, before shields, because that will allow us to get a rage boost, not just from Elwyn, but we get a big rage boost when we pop the shields, a 50% rage boost into their ult cap, and it allows us to cycle way more DPS. So the first one's really hard. So basically we just need to make sure we trigger everybody, but it melts instantaneously, right, with the amount of damage we're putting out. So it actually looks like we might be a little SOL with Silas here because we blew everything so quickly. I'll throw it on auto and maybe we'll get it going. Looks like he just got it off. He just got it off. Okay, perfect. So this is the perfect run so far. Throw this back off auto. And we're just going to try to manipulate everything. At the beginning, it's super, super easy to deal with the shields. So all we need to do is make sure we trigger as many ults before the shield as possible. Towards the end, we're going to be timing out Helga and Setram shields, but important that we don't miss ultimates early on because we're going to miss the rage boost. You get a big rage boost, as I said, when you do pop the shield of the Zelus Styx Boss. So you can see we're all ready. Here comes the shield. I don't want to overdo it yet because we're going to miss that window for Silas. So I'm actually going to hold off here. We need to wait till we can actually get Silas off. I don't want to trigger because they would just melt it so quickly. Keep an eye on Helga here. Just look at what she does. I'm trying to do super slow-mo. Just quadruple hitters left and right. It's super slow-mo, but you can just see them coming in and then look. Foom, 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 2 at a time on each side. She's a freak, nothing else to say. There we pop the shield, so now Salazar's up. We can trigger him. We should be able to get a double trigger of Salazar, which is very nice. And you can see we're already at B with over 4 minutes left still. I'll go a little bit faster now that I think hopefully we're understanding the mechanics. If you have any questions, just let me know in the comments. Let's wait, let's wait, let's wait. Again, this second shield here is going to be really easy, so we don't have to obsess too much. It's more important that we don't trigger Helga and Silas too early and then miss Helga and Setram too early and miss out on Silas. So I'm going to wait till Setram's ready. Now we can trigger Setram, trigger Helga, trigger Silas, and we're in the clear. We won't be able to get Salazar off in time, unfortunately. Later on we will be. There you go, pop. We missed it, so we don't get the big boost. So now he has to go normal time. We trigger him pretty good. Damage is looking really nice. So this is where the shields are a bit meatier. They take more hits, and we can start optimizing our timing a bit better. We'll leave it on 1x. I'm just going to do the one run of the fight, so we want it to be perfect. Let's wait, let's wait. You can see we start with the extra 50% boost on Silas. We didn't get that on Salazar since we didn't trigger his ult before the shield popped, but now we should be able to manipulate really nicely. So we wait, we wait, we wait. So I find the perfect time for Helga is right around when you reach the D in shield on the countdown bar. Let's trigger Setram. We're going to miss with Salazar again, I believe. We'll see if we can get there. Once we get under 50, that's when I'm going to trigger Silas. And we're going to just miss with Salazar, I think. I'll hammer away, but yeah, we just missed it again, unfortunately. So we're leaving a little damage on the table. That should be the last time we miss, though. I was thrown a little off by the shield not actually coming up because we nuked it down so fast on the first wave. And now, with 3 minutes left, the shields take enough hits. We're still going to completely own them, but they take enough hits that I can actually do optimal timings. So now we can actually work on it very nicely. We wait for Setram here, and we're going to use that shield trick, the D in shield. As soon as the bar comes up, we can trigger Setram. We can wait a little bit longer on this one. When we reach the D in shield, we can trigger Helga. And now, hopefully, we can get Salazar in here. I really hope so. We're going to try to hold off on Silas for as long as possible, and it looks like we'll just get it. So we'll trigger him at around 50. And we can immediately trigger Salazar, and we got it. Perfect. We never have to trigger Elwyn. As you can see, heals are not an issue here since he never wipes us. We always take down the shields. Beautiful. And look, Salazar's almost ready to go again because we got his ultimate up before the shield popped, so he gets that extra 50%. So now I'll get another trigger on Salazar, just perfect, and now we can cycle Salazar really nicely. Really, really nicely. We're going to keep this thing on 1x still, already at SS+, 2 minutes, 20 seconds left. Hopefully we put up a really, really big number. Let's wait now. All right, when we get about halfway, we can trigger Setram. When we get to the D, we can trigger Helga. We can throw this on 2x. No reason we're going to be able to get Salazar, but you can see he'll get boosted up for perfect cycling now. When we get under 50, we can trigger Silas. The reason I trigger Silas early is because he does this like hand in the air thing, and he's not actually shooting at the beginning of his ult, so this allows for perfect timing. Let's trigger Salazar immediately. You see he got that 50% jump, and we're looking really good. So we're about to break over, we got triple S, we're about to get over 2 million, and hopefully we can get that 3 million plus. I really hope so. The damage is looking really, really nice so far. And you can just see, try to keep an eye on Helga if you can even see. But when we trigger that ult, it's 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And she just by herself, guys. So even if you didn't have Setram, hopefully she will be the legendary fusion, the next fusion. That is what I postulate, because she was a free fusion on Forerunner. She just owns this stuff, man. She just owns it. It's ridiculous. So there we are, we're at 2.1. Basically, as soon as the bar comes up, I'm going to trigger Setram. And when we reach the D, I'm going to trigger Helga. Again, that's for a delay in her animation where she throws like her spear in the air. And now it lines up perfectly with Salazar. Don't worry about that big, big number. We handle it like it's literally nothing. So the trick here, and I wish we could go super slow-mo, is under 50. And then just right before it goes, we get Salazar. So now you'll see Salazar pops up. He's already back over 50. Brilliant. And that's how we get that huge damage. So we'll get another boost from Salazar here. Some more DPS. I've been playing this a lot. I've been playing this for the past like 45 minutes trying to optimize this run because it's a lot of fun. It's moments like this when I remember why I love the game so much. We can trigger Salazar immediately for some more damage. Looks like 3 million's very much in play. You might think, how big is the next shield going to be? Flipping enormous, don't worry. But we'll get Setram going. We'll hit that D for the delay in Helga's ult. And look at this, 500 it takes. We don't care. It's easy for us. It's easy. When we get to about 100, I'm going to trigger Silas. We will get a boost from his attack speed increase because he is A1. He's actually A3, but that's fine. Should just make it. Oh, so close. And we just made it. Brilliant. Salazar's up. Great damage. And now we can throw it on auto because there won't be time for another shield cycle. And there we go. We broke 3 million. I think we got a new top score, baby. I told you things were lining up really nicely. 3.2. This is freakish. These numbers are freakish. I'm not claiming this is the world #1. It also might be. I don't know. I could optimize the gear even more. Could we get 3.5? I think maybe we could. But I didn't want to mess around with Xero's gear too much. His gearing was very, very nice. Don't take it the wrong way. He did beautiful gearing. There were just a couple artifact swaps I had to make. But there you go. That's the new record. At the very least, that is the Forerunner Southeast Asia world record. Let me take a screenshot of that for the thumbnail. You know I gotta. 3.26 million, 3,260,185 points. So this is, don't get it twisted, Helga's going to have the worst damage. This is a Helga showcase. We would not be able to take that last shield with 500 hits without her. But you can see enormous damage from Silas. I will say this was a huge improvement over what Xero had before, and it just was on the back of bringing Elwyn. Don't think you have a legendary lord and you have to bring someone like Aracha. Elwyn allowed us with perfect rage regen cycling to time Silas out beautifully every single time. As you can see, we really maximize when we click that ult. So right when the shield popped, he had already triggered his ult. So we got the 50% rage boost afterwards, but right when he actually started shooting on his ult, because he does have that delayed animation when he throws his hand and his bow in the air, he was just unloading every time. So just ludicrous damage, 242 million. It is just crazy. There you go, guys. Really nice. But it really is, this is a Helga comp. There's no way to put it. You know, did Calypso do a great job? Did Setram do a great job with hits? Sure. Did Elwyn do some rage regen cycling? Absolutely. The whole comp sings together very nicely, but my sweet God, you guys saw it. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. She's freakish. So let me show you those builds. There you have it. Some really nice stuff. 3.26 million. Big thank you to Xero again for sharing this account. So fun. I put a call out on Forerunner. I was like, I really need to test Helga because I want to show how badass she can be in Styx. I think we showed it. All right, let's go right down the line. So some really great gearing. Don't get it twisted. And again, free-to-play account. He just grinded his butt off for exactly 16 months. So great Infernal Roar set here. Lots of crit damage, attack bonus, attack bonus. And then, some great substats over here. This is a really, really nice piece. We would love some attack speed, but I think it's near impossible to get that. But that huge crit damage roll on a weapon because it's an ancient, really nice. One change I made, and I actually will change it back now just so I can put his old gear back on. He didn't have a Spirit Siphon on. This made a big difference. This really helps. He did have the Bloodbound Signet. Pretty nice to get that 45% crit damage, but man, you really want, because you're hitting the same target, it's basically permanent uptime here, 30% increased damage. That's pretty wild and wacky. You're going to want that. Really, really nice. Let's go down to the next. I'm throwing the stuff back on because I really didn't want to mess this stuff up too much. You can see for Calypso, he has her A5, as most people will if you play the game for 16 months and you grind really hard. You can see not even crazy attack speed and not crazy rage regen. So this is not how I would have built Calypso, but it's solid damage. But quite frankly, there was a lot of room for improvement here. A really nice build though, especially at A5. We'll get that extra Soul Stone up. You can see 406 here, no rage regen. It's solid. Not optimized, but it is solid. She was already in a perfectly set up Spirit Siphon. Beautiful. Setrum didn't make the comp, but obviously I brought him in. He already was in a Spirit Siphon. Really nice. And he was in a really good looking Infernal Roar set here. I will say the attack speed was slightly light. The crit damage was very light, but all in all, it's a very good build. Tons of attack, over 20k attack. It's a good build. Not optimized, but it is a very good build. So good job, Xero. I'll show you the gear very quickly. So that is that. I think those are all our marksmen. So moving right along, we might as well show Elowen and then we'll show Salazar and finish off with Queen Helga. I will say Xero's Helga build was brilliant. He nailed it. So here you go, Invig set for Silas. Nothing matters. All that matters is that you've maxed out her passive. We don't need any of her heals. We could have ran her with just any gear that was enough that she couldn't get killed, so she had any semblance of statistics, and then she had an Invig set. Nothing else mattered. She was only there for every 3 seconds, giving all allies on the map 3% of their rage cap. Craziness. And then of course she was in a maxed out Euphoric Orb, who everybody but Calypso benefited from. Pretty straightforward stuff. Let's go to Salazar now. The Salazar build is very nice. Really, really good job, Xero. I really like this. Took good advantage of the high base attack, so he didn't have to go too hard into attack. Believe it or not, he could get this huge crit damage number, huge attack speed number, crit cap. This is a brilliant build in a Soulbound Arcana set. This must be some of the best gear in his account. You can see this is even with using a crit rate bangle. Sometimes you got to use a crit rate bangle if it allows you to use some crazy gear, and I'll show you what it allowed him to do. He could snag pieces like this beautiful Annihilating Might breastplate with no crit rate because he had basically all the crit rate covered, 66%, 2/3 of crit cap over there, and then another beautiful piece here where he got a huge crit damage roll, only possible on an ancient piece, and got to ignore crit rate again. All in all, not the optimal bangle in general, but when you have gear like this, it can work out really nicely. You can see this is a brilliant build. He is in a maxed out Scarlet Hunt, really, really nice. And finally, Queen Helga, all that matters, attack speed to the moon. Broken set, doesn't matter. I didn't touch anything on this build. Xero just destroyed it. Gold attack speed roll, attack speed main with a maxed red rage regen roll. Free to play account, maxed rage regen. I love that it's red now. That just looks beautiful. Here you can see another purple attack speed roll at 76, and then this is just amazing. So you can only get attack speed on a breastplate if it's ancient. He got it on a whirlwind set, so we get extra 75 attack speed from the bonus. There's 68 there, and then a really nice 67 roll here. All in all, 710 attack speed. If you actually do the math on this, it comes out to just less than 0.6 seconds, but the game rounds up to every 0.1 interval, so every 10th of a second. So just lightning quick with a lot of rage regen too. It's just a perfect build. Could eventually, could he get away with bringing this like 0.7? And of course having a bit more DPS on her, sure, but this is her role, right? That is like super endgame optimized. I mean, this is an endgame account, but really she is here just to shine, and shine as the speediest goddamn multi-hit unit there is in the game. So very quickly, in case you didn't know, she has specialized attack speed. So for every additional attack speed you build on her, that will reduce her attack interval much more than a hero that doesn't have specialized attack speed. So this is a special ability that heroes like Falcia and Voroth, I'm trying to think who else, Demi, they all have this. So she benefits immensely. That's how she's so lightning quick. And yeah, just brilliant build from Xero, taking her down from a 2.6 second interval to only 0.6, less than 0.6. I did make one more change here. I threw a Scarlet Hunt artifact on her. This gave her a bit more damage because keep in mind Salazar is keeping a very high uptime on bleed, especially since the Salazar is really nice at A5. So this is a free-to-play comp, guys. It's just something for you to look forward to down the line if you grind your little tushy off. Shout out to Xero for sharing this amazing team with us. I love Helga. Helga is a contender for one of my favorite heroes in the game. They need to work on the rendering of her silly little costume, kind of paint by numbers corset, whatever, flowing down thing, banner thing over here. But all in all, brilliant thing and a crazy fat number, 3.26. Wild and wacky. Guys, if you like this content, please make sure to subscribe, like it, get in the comments, let me know if you have any questions. Absolutely hammer that notification bell, all notifications. It's the best way you can help me and other content creators that you love. I've been Fastidious. Share it with your mother. I'll see you in the next one.
Fastidious.